Hey, good morning, everybody. Bob, Trade Genius, still in the land of Kona. Be here for the rest of the week, but definitely going to be involved in trading. It's going to be a great week. Things are happening, and I think we're finally starting to see the beginning of the end game. And I titled this video, The Four Horsemen of the Fed Apocalypse. And the first one I'm going to show is the equity version of Bitcoin, just to show people the opportunity that's in front of them. Okay, I'm going to go to hourly here. Okay, this is what Friday looked like, and there's a lot of reasons and whys to happen, but it's just ready. Halving's coming, recognition that maybe the dollar is going to weaken, and if you look at it this way, it weakened 30% against Bitcoin, came right back up to here. Now it's probably going to form a cup, probably come drift down and then blast off. But if you own GBTC, you don't have to have a crypto account. And we trade in and out of this. The system generated a buy signal, and those who use our service, you can get to a level where you can actually get this indicator. The squares are the slingshots, the same. Basically, the move down was too far, too fast. Usually gives you a reversal signal. And if you notice, it gives it on both sides too. Too far, too fast. Too far, too fast. But it doesn't always have to reverse. It just tells you if you took a run here, probably a good place to take profit. I'm expecting some sort of pullback and then another blast. But sometimes with Bitcoin, as you know, in 2017, once it goes, it goes. So make sure that if you're a long-term player, that you always keep some on hand. But just an incredible move here. I mean, this move right here is 20%. The market didn't even make that yet since President Trump's been in office. It's been just circling back and forth into a big range. And with one nice thing about Bitcoin and those around it is that it likes to trade big. So if you catch these moves, you can really build your wealth. But it's not just that. So the next one I want to show you is that one we've been trading and we've been doing pretty well with. Has to do with natural gas, and we're grinding into the high season for nat gas. Last year at this time it doubled from here. Okay, and that gives us some opportunities. I'm going to show you some of the equities we've been trading and we got in and out of, and one that we're still in. We're looking for some big moves here over the next 6 to 10 weeks, depending on how cold it gets and how badly they misjudged their injections going into the season, and they're going to have to buy on spot, which means that they're going to have to pay dearly for nat gas, which will help the drillers. But it's not just that. Check out silver. Silver looks a lot like what's going on with Bitcoin, and this is also a very suppressed asset. And people always ask me, well, what should I buy if I only had one thing to buy? This is the most undervalued asset on earth. Is the other that and common sense is available to us. So silver miners. If you can't trade at all, buy SILJ, and then wake up 5 years later and you'll do quite well. SIL is another ETF that does quite well. Or you can just trade in the silver miners, and we did a couple trades this week. I'll show you the ones we did, and they turned out to be very profitable for us. So silver's doing good. Again, these slingshots have just been screaming at us here to take trades, and also our buy-sell indicator. And once again, boom. So that's it. And that's the next one. And then the last one is that, and I think this is the unsung hero that's going to really creep up on people. This is what caused the Arab Spring, and I think it's going to be something that's going to become more and more in people's consciousness very soon. Here's corn and wheat. Okay, look at this nice head and shoulder bottom here forming on corn futures, and if it pops, it goes. And then look at wheat. Okay, doing the same thing. And so now I go out on a weekly on these things. Look at that, even more pronounced. Okay, looks like silver, doesn't it? And also, this is another asset that the banks have been they've been suppressing through the futures contracts. And once they lose control of this, it goes. You know, one thing the banks don't want to do, they don't want to have the bad kind of inflation show up or alternatives for people like gold, silver, food prices. So they suppress them. But I think they're losing control. So just bear that in mind when you wonder why things happen that don't make sense. Is because the bankers go ahead and they screw with it. They just admitted last week that they did Bitcoin futures just to suppress Bitcoin. So don't underestimate the evil of people who want to maintain control. Now I'm going to go show you some of the trades that we did. We had a very good week. We had one stinker. And let me go into it right here. So I'll show you the one that didn't work out first. We took a shot here on BAS. Go back to hourly here. And tried to catch it on an earnings move here. We had this move. We got this. Of course, you know, it popped right after we bought it, and then it's right back down to our stop. Our stop was tight, but in retrospect, it probably looked pretty good. But we did a loss in this one here. Sometimes when you take these low price stocks, these lottos work out, and then sometimes they don't. But I just want to point out that obviously we're not perfect. And then here's CHK. We rode CHK from 133 into 141. And I held back. It was just taking too long for it to get its mojo. And so when it broke through the center line here, we went ahead and sold. And then it drifted back down, and then it launched. And then based on that, we jumped into SWN. And we're up 5% on this trade here. We got in at 203. And now it's at 213 here. And the nice thing about this one here, I'll go out to a weekly to show you, is that I'll go over here actually and show you better. There's a different look. Showing a little volume profile action here. Is that it's covered its let me go in. So it's covered its big wedge here of pricing, and now it's on the top side here, and I think this thing could run. I put a target out here. I think 257 is possible. It can get chopped up in here a little bit, but once it gets over 220, there's really no volume here to keep it from getting back and retesting this wick here. So that's my play for nat gas this time. And then we also had another trade that we had good profit on. We did Diamond Offshore and grabbed a nice move on that one, and we're out of that one at the moment. And so right now SWN's our play, and I think it's going to probably give us potential 20 or 30% move. On the miner side, there were just so many coming at us at one time. So we caught AG, and we caught it for a 5% move. It went up. I moved my target up on it, and then it drifted back down, and we moved my stop up to 1050 from 1004. So we picked up 5% on that. And then the other trade we had was we caught the bottom of FSM. We got down here at this bottom here at 296, and we had a sell on it at 313, and we took that trade for a profit too. I'm still a little nervous on the miners just because they've been giving back their gains so much, but I'll take 5 to 7% all day long. And so the miners are looking pretty good here, and we entered KCG just so we had some exposure. And once it climbs over this 488 area here, then it's going to probably come down here, test $5, and then I'm looking for it to climb the wall and try to break this gap right here, 507. Then it's clear air on that, and I'll be looking for other opportunities. And like I talked about earlier here, here's SIL and SILJ, and if you can't trade and you want to own something, get exposure to silver miners, you want to be an SILJ. It's the juniors. They're the ones that are going to have the biggest lift off. So anyway, that is what I wanted to talk about today, and we'll be back at you all week. It's going to be a great week for us, and come trade with us, tradelikeagenius.com. Make money with us nearly every day. Doing great, obviously, on the crypto side too. And if you ever heard of binary options, it's kind of one of our secret things. It's hard to explain on a video what it is, but it's a way in which you can make bets on market direction over certain periods of time. And we have some really, really good probability programs that get us on the right side of the trade nearly every time. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.